Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I appreciate you so much. Today, I want to talk about spiritual manipulation, and I want to look at it in a few different ways. Um, you know, this all of this was inspired by a coaching session that I had earlier on today, where you find that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, and this could be, the narcissist could be male or female, right? So it goes both ways. Yet you find that nobody around you understands what you're dealing with, and all they want to tell you is to pray and fast and trust the Lord. And you keep trying to tell them, like, listen, you don't understand what I'm dealing with, and they begin to question your faith. Mm-mm. Or they will tell you, like, you tell them that you want to leave, and then they flip it around to say, well, God hates divorce. And they'll say that divorce is the only place in the Bible, or divorce biblically is only allowed as it pertains to adultery, and you have no evidence of that. And so now you're supposed to stay in this relationship with this narcissist, possible psychopath or sociopath, and live with an abuse that they don't see. The scars that you get from this are not visible. You don't get the black eye, you don't get you don't get bloodied up, but your heart is hurting, your heart is bleeding, and they can't see it. And so they will continue to tell you, like, no, pray and fast. Or worse still, they will ask you, what would Jesus do? Well, first of all, let me help you out here. You are not Jesus. And another thing, Jesus did not go to Calvary's cross to die so that you can die at the hands of a narcissist, psychopath, or sociopath. That is not what he died for. And you're going to have to stop allowing religion to be used as a band-aid to cover up foolish behavior. It's not even allowed. God did not want this for your life. God does not want this for your life. And so where do we go from here? They'll tell you that God hates divorce, right? I heard this all the time when I was trying to get divorced, all the time. And it made me, question myself, like maybe my faith isn't strong enough, or maybe I'm not praying hard enough. Maybe I'm not doing, everything that I can. And then at the same time, they'll tell you, like, have you really tried everything? And you begin to question and doubt everything. And sometimes, sometimes they really don't know what you're up against, because it may, you can tell people some of the things that you're going through, and they minimize it because it's not their experience. Narcissistic abuse is emotional rape. Nobody else outside of that situation actually experiences it. So if they're not in your home, if they're not witnessing it, they don't see it. Another thing is, if they know your spouse, they know this person as charismatic. They know this person as a family woman. They know this person as a godly man, a godly woman, because remember, they project image, and image is everything to the narcissist. And so they look at you like, are you crazy? But let me tell you one thing. Yes, it is true. The Bible certainly says that God hates divorce. But let me tell you what else. The Bible also lets us know in so many places that he loves you. So while God may hate the sin, he'll never hate the sinner. God may hate divorce, but he'll never hate the divorcee. And so move forward knowing that he still loves you. Another thing, like if it's in the context of a marriage, and your spouse is narcissistic, and it doesn't matter whether it's the husband or the wife, think about it, like, first of all, God is the head, then comes your spouse, and then the children. So now if your husband is out of line, then he stepped out of God's alignment. He has already canceled himself right there. So what are you being tied to because he's out of order? Just like if it's the wife, it's husband, then wife, and then the children. But the wife has stepped aside. She has stepped outside of God's divine order and his covenant agreement based on how she is treating you and abusing you. Because trust you me, God did not create you. He did not create marriage for it to be a tool to hold you hostage, for it to be a tool to keep you in bondage. And we know that there is power in God and that he is able to do all things. But the narcissist still has a level of responsibility. They have to want to change. They would have to be willing to take those steps. And guess what? 9 out of 10, in fact, 99.999%, they don't want to, because they don't see a problem. And so even though they may go to marital counseling with you, and then worse, let it be with the church, they're going to they're going to triangulate you. They will be your smear campaign. They will bring up all your dirty laundry. She did this and he doesn't appreciate me, whatever. I mean, like, these guys hit below the belt, and they will be the victim. They will be crying. They will be desperate, and they'll act like, everything that they do is what you do. And so I want you, if this is you, or if it's somebody that you know, to really know that that's not the life God had for you. I was there, I struggled with it. And when I began contemplating divorce, it was because I was really first of all, I was really at a place where I was beginning to have a spiritual awakening. And I began to long for the presence of God and to be in worship and prayer more than I ever had. And that's where I got my strength, as well as the confirmation that I needed, that it was okay to move on. So don't allow other people, other religious, other spiritual people, and listen, I'm not bashing them, because they may very well mean you well, because they don't see what you're going through. They are just unaware. And that's where they'll say, like, God can heal anything, God can change. And we're not disputing the fact that he can, but there is a level of responsibility that lies on the narcissist. And and you have to do what you have to do to protect and to preserve who you are, as well as your future self. And also, another thing for you to consider: if you have children in that home, what kind of children are you raising? Think about it like that. Because even though the narcissist may just be that way to you, which is pretty rare, because they will do other things to the children, you want to know that you've done everything that you can for your children, so that when they move into the world, they're not trying to recover from childhood. They're not trying to figure out, like, what did I do to deserve this, or what was it about my childhood? You don't want to raise a codependent. You also don't want to raise another narcissist. And worse, they may just be a whole psychopath as a result of what they've experienced in their childhood. It's very traumatic for the children. So make sure that you are able to get them some type of counseling or therapy, so that they can heal from those things, so that they can heal from the injuries that they have. Because imagine if the narcissist is doing it to you, and you're in some kind of fog and what is going on, what more the mind that is still developing. So I just wanted to encourage somebody today that if you do have to, hear the words, oh, pray and fast. Yeah, pray and fast. There's nothing wrong with it. But faith without works is dead. Another thing is, you may have to put boundaries from these people that are saying those things, because they may be unknowingly flying monkeys for the narcissist. And it's even worse when the narcissist is in the church and is on the pulpit, or is in some type of ministry. How then do you get hurt? How frustrating is it for you? And so, I just wanted to encourage somebody. I don't know, I just wanted to encourage somebody that, like, listen, you are allowed to move on. You are allowed to see God and get confirmation from him, because I promise you, when he did it for me, it was crystal clear. There was no way that I could say that I didn't know that I had been released from the marriage. I mean, and from that moment, I was done. It was all the confirmation, and people still would throw it in my face and say, no, 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 God hates divorce. And I'm like, but Jesus loves me all the same. So even for this, there is grace. And just one thing I'll say before I end, is what makes it so painful afterwards. And now whether you're going through the process of divorce or you're already divorced, is it's never quite final, because you have to have, if you have children, you may still be exchanging information or contact, or conversation, but there is a way to protect yourself even in those situations, and you have to be willing, because it might be that you stop going to that church, or you stop praying with that particular partner, or you come out of that particular cell group or ladies group or gentlemen's group or whatever. But begin to focus on healing yourself, and God's word is rich and it's abundant, and it's applicable in all aspects of our lives. So you will be able to find some confirmation for what you are dealing with. Ask him to guide you, ask him to lead you, ask him to reveal it to you, and I promise you, I give you my word, he will not fail you. Like, if he did it for me, and I'm just me, I'm nobody special, I'm just me, he will do it for you too. So I just want to encourage you, like, if this is what you're dealing with, if this is what you're facing, it's okay. There is life after all of this, and you can go on and be great and do great things and enjoy your life without a narcissist bringing you down. So that's all I had to share for you tonight. If you like anything that I've said, go ahead and like, comment, share, as well as subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the notifications. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other.